Welcome back to another episode of Common Sense. Have you ever had that feeling that you ever wanted to basically go home? I don't mean the home where you live or anything like that. No, I mean go back in time and go home. You know, it's a nostalgic feeling is what it is. Now, of course, common sense dictates that you can never go home again. I mean, we've all heard that. And I wondered, what was the application of that? You know, and all my life I've always kind of wondered, why can't you ever go home again? When I was a kid, I used to think, gee, I go home every day. But that's not what it means, is it? No. What it means when somebody tells you you can never go home again, it means you can never go back to another time and place and start over again. You can't, even if you could build a time machine and go back, you wouldn't be able to change the circumstances that you're living under now. You see, your past is your past, irregardless of whether you've lived rightly or wrongly. I mean, the things you've done in your past, whether good or bad, right or wrong, it's what you've got to live with. You know, if you've treated somebody wrongly when you were young, you can't go back and change that. You might be able to mend the relationship to that person, but you can't go back and change, you know, what happened as much as you would like to do. I mean, I have flashbacks all the time. I think most of us do. We've all got memories of our younger years. You know, I think about a lot of the friends I grew up with, went to school with, grew up playing with, you know. And you have this tendency to want to go back to a time like this, especially when you start getting up there in years. You know, I'm 51 now. So, taking that all into consideration, you know, you want to go back. I mean, you know, I remember when I was a boy, there was this girl that, oh man, I was head over heels about her. From the 4th grade on, I was head over heels about her. And, you know, the last time I saw her, I treated her wrongly. In fact, the last few dozen times I saw her, because we went to school together, you know, right up into high school. Before my dad decided he was going to get rich. And so he bought this business in a little town in southeastern Colorado that, at least it was a 1.5 horse town. It wasn't just a 1 horse town. But I mean, I did. I treated her really wrong. And you know, I would love to be able to go back and do that part over. And this time, maybe do things right. I tell you what, if I wonder, to this day, I wonder, had I treated her correctly, had I treated her right, would my life be any different? I think it might be. See, we all have the situations in our lives, in our younger years, and as we grow through life, we tend to, you know, do things that, you know, sometimes we're not very proud of. And that was one of those moments in my life. And I've got plenty, you know. Hey, I remember going wild one night. I used to have a 66 Pontiac GTO. Had a 389 with a Carter AFB 4-barrel carburetor on it. And You know, I love that. I still have dreams about that car sometimes. One night, driving down the streets of that 1.5 horse town, and had another kid there who had a Mopar. He thought he was hot. I won the race, but I ended up losing my driver's license for 6 months. Oh yeah. Yeah, the state of Colorado doesn't play. But I've never lost my license since. Yes, you learn from things like that. We've all made mistakes. And fortunately, my mistakes have not, hurt or killed anybody. And I hope I never have anything like that happen. So, as a result of some of those mistakes in the past, I learned from them. And common sense says you apply what you learned to the future. You can never go home again. This is true. You can never go back in time and change the things you would love to change. Because even if you could build a time machine, well, you're still going to be the same age you are now. And you'll have to watch yourself make the same stupid mistakes over again. So you see, there's really no way to change your history. No way at all. Well, that's it for Common Sense this time. See you again later.